This happened less than a month ago. I'm a senior in high school and have lived in Nevada my entire life. There's not much to do out here. But one thing my friends and I have always been into is urban exploring. Abandoned buildings, old tunnels, forgotten malls. If it felt lost to time, we were interested. We weren't vandals. We never broke anything. It was about the mystery, the thrill. The one in our group who always found the creepiest spots was Reed. Quiet, intense, always seemed like he knew things we didn't. One day, he sent us a screenshot from some random Instagram account, low follow account, dim photos, creepy captions. The post said, "Dozens of abandoned mine shafts hidden in the Mojave Desert, if you know where to look." Reed had messaged the account and gotten some coordinates. He was obsessed instantly. So that Saturday, it was me, Reed, and our other friend, Luca. I had a Jeep that handled the desert well, so we packed up and left. No real address, just a pin in the middle of nowhere. Reed's mark was miles off any paved road. The further we drove, the more the trail vanished. Just dirt and rocks and endless emptiness. Luca was already grumbling, saying Reed had been duped, but Reed insisted we keep looking. I figured we'd humor him until the sun started going down. Just when we were about to give up, Luca spotted something off to the right. From a distance, it looked like more sand and rock, but then we saw it. A crumbling wooden structure partially swallowed by a hillside. The entrance was broken, but behind the collapsed beams, a black void yawned back at us. It was definitely a shaft, definitely man-made. Reed didn't say anything. He just dropped a pin on his offline map, looked at Luca and said, "Told you." I parked a few feet away on a flat patch of ground. We got out, grabbed our gear, and Reed handed us each a dust mask. Said we'd thank him later. Up close, the entrance looked even sketchier. Reed picked up a rock and tossed it in. We listened. Clang, 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 then silence. It was deep. "If you fall," Reed said, "you're not getting back up." The descent wasn't a straight drop. It angled down sharply but walkable. Loose dirt, old wooden supports, walls pulsing with echoes. As we went deeper, the air cooled, the silence thickened, and all sense of light disappeared behind us. Eventually, the tunnel leveled out. It opened into a wider corridor that split in a few directions. It was exactly what you'd picture. Wooden, beams every few yards, rusted rails buried in dust, broken metal and wood scattered around. The smell was old and heavy. That's when I realized why Reed brought the masks. It didn't just smell abandoned, it smelled wrong. We picked a direction and walked. Nobody said anything. There wasn't much to see. It looked stripped of anything valuable. Then we heard it, a dragging sound, faint, metal on stone, wood. It echoed. I froze. Reed did too. Luca flicked off his flashlight and gestured for us to do the same. We stood in the pitch dark, waiting. Listening, the sound came again, closer this time, dragging, slow, relentless. We stood there in total darkness for what felt like forever. 30 seconds, a full minute. Time didn't work down there. The dragging sound kept creeping closer, never fast, just steady. Dread was settling deep in my chest. Then, click. Luca accidentally flicked his flashlight on for half a second. I wanted to strangle him. The sound stopped. Silence collapsed on us like a wave. And bang, a metallic crash echoed from deep in the tunnel, like something heavy had been dropped, and then a scream. Not human, not even close. It was shrill and broken and full of fury, like something dying. And furious about it, we ran. I didn't think, I didn't look, I just ran. The tunnel stretched forever, but my legs didn't stop. Behind me, I heard footsteps, real footsteps, fast ones. I was last in line, struggling to keep up. Then, bam, I tripped. My foot caught something, and I tumbled. One shoe ripped off. My foot burned as it scraped across the rock, but I didn't stop. Up ahead, I saw the incline, the tunnel mouth barely visible. Reed and Luca were already climbing. I forced myself to my feet and sprinted. Every step felt like nails stabbing. into me. Half barefoot, splinters slicing into me. I clawed my way up. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. I just moved. By the time I burst out into the daylight, my foot was a wreck. I collapsed into the dirt. Reed and Luca had to drag me to the Jeep. I couldn't drive, so Luca jumped behind the wheel. We didn't look back. I don't know if we were followed. I don't care. We drove in silence to the nearest hospital. I needed a tetanus shot. They pulled splinters out of me for nearly an hour. I limped for days, but that wasn't the end. A few days later, Luca told us he lost his wallet near the shaft. He wanted to go back just to the entrance, so we returned, just the three of us. The spot was exactly the same, no sign of the wallet. But there was my shoe, the one I lost running for my life. It was sitting a few feet from the mine's entrance, torn, ripped open. It had bite marks, human-sized bite marks. Chunks of the sole were missing. We left instantly. No one said a word. People love to say, probably just a drifter. But how does a drifter survive down there? What do they eat? That sketchy Instagram account never responded to Reed again. It's going to be a long time before I ever step into the desert again.